we'll start with the Phillies. They win yesterday, and so I was out last week. I was on the West Coast, so I was on the same time as them. Yeah, I went to. You ever been to? I'm sure you have. Washington State. I went to Olympia beer. Did you have some Olympia beer? I did have that. I went to Olympic National Park. I went to Mount Rainier. It was awesome, but I was on the same time frame as the Phillies, right? So I got back at night after being the hiking all day, and I listened to some of the games. And it was a lot of the same, right? They didn't score any runs, and they won 2 times out of 6. But it was kind of a frustrating road trip for the Phillies. Yet now they go into the All-Star break still in first place. Like it's been a weird year to where they have flaws, they don't hit enough.
Yeah.
The bullpen stinks. Yet their starting pitching is great enough that they're still in first place. Al, as we hit the All-Star break here, home run derby tonight, are the Phillies better or worse than you thought they'd be?
Their record is better, a little better, but they're worse. The Phillies are a very nice car where you're humming along. The check engine light is on, and everything's going well, but the check engine light is on.
Yeah, so you're
waiting
worried,
to say what is going to happen. And it's not like you weren't warned. The thing's right there, flashing at you. Check engine, check, and it's up to you. Are you going to reach that destination before something goes bonkers, or are you going to check under the hood?
It's a good analogy. I think that is a really good way to frame the Phillies. They are that, right? And the check engine light's been on.
Oh.
But, sometimes those lights fire for no reason. There's a plug off, and I'm not saying there's no reason to have concern with the Phillies. Everyone listening knows I have concern with the Phillies. But, Al, when the season began, my prediction was 89 wins and a wild card spot. I wasn't as high on this team as other people were. Now, I didn't think they were bad, but I thought it'd be a struggle to just get there. And I look at the team, and I'm like, man, the starting pitching is great enough that it does cover up the other issues. Even look at this weekend. They didn't play great this weekend, right? They had issues on with the Kepler pop-up on Friday, and they had issues yesterday scoring runs till the 8th inning. But they won the game yesterday. They very easily could have won the game on Friday night. Their starting pitching is primarily excellent. And I actually think they're better than I thought they would be to start this season, because I wasn't sure the pitching was this great. I mean, it really is. Even without Aaron Nola, even with Bryce Harper not having a great season by his standards, the pitching is so good that they're still one of the, 5 or 6 best teams in baseball.
Yeah, but it's all on the pitching. Question is, are you gonna risk that's going to carry you through? Yeah. That's very difficult to think that's going to happen, because more often than not in the playoffs, big bats come through.
They do,
and that's what. I'm not looking at this team as a team to make the playoffs. Yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. I actually think the manager's done a remarkable job with a dysfunctional lineup. With an outfield that he has, with a defense that he has at times, with power hitters that lost power, I think he's done a really good job. And some of that is just the pitching coming through. But no, I'm not as nearly as confident with them as I thought I was going to be going into. And you mentioned the problems. Nola, a reliever that's gone.
Alvarado, screwed them.
Well, your top player with the wrist that seems chronic now. Yep. So I think he's done a really good job, but I don't have much faith that they can. Like, these playoffs aren't just 1 round, 2 rounds. I mean, they got to go a long time in the playoffs.
Well, you might have to win 4 rounds.
Yeah, that's a long time. And I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed in their record. I'm disappointed in my eyes what I see.
Yeah, the record, obviously the record's pretty good. I mean, even with losing 4 to 6 on the road this week, they're still in first place. And I think that it's almost like we're looking at the issues and almost not looking at the record. Like, we're doing both at the same time. Like, the record's good, the issues are there. I just look at it this way. Even with the issues they have, they have a really good record. They have really good starting pitching, and I do think some of the issues could be fixed. Like, the bullpens are the one thing at the trade deadline, Al. If you do it right, you can fix it.
Yeah, but it's such a long shot, or it can go bad too. It's the hardest position to predict, like what's going to happen. Yeah, and I don't have as much issue with the bullpens as many, because I just assume when Nola comes back that somebody's going in there anyway. So you're going to have somebody's
going to... But they're going to need another guy.
One more, but everybody's talking 2. No, you might need 1, but you're going to send a starting pitcher in there.
Which one?
Well, you're going to have an option. Yeah. But, that's fine. And I don't know what's going to happen with a kid they bring up or whatever. But I'm prioritize a bat. I just... A lot of times, to me, when you have a really good team, and since the DH has come into the National League, your closer is a big bat. Ryan Howard was a closer as much as Litch.
So like you're up 2-1, you hit the home run and make it 4-1.
Yes.
Yeah, that finishes the game.
It's a huge difference. And when you have a lineup where you reach where there's a dead spot, it's like a dead spot on your phone when you get to 7, 8, 9. Done.
Some days it's before 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, and then it's
Kepler. Wherever they put him in the lineup.
Exactly.
He stinks, by the way.
You got to get through. You have to fix that.
Yeah, well, they do, and they need that. So here's where I'm at. At 215-592-9494. We're at reach the All-Star break. The Phillies win yesterday. We know they lost 2 out of 3 this weekend in San Diego. They're in first place. They're not a special all-time great team. They're good. They could be better. They obviously have work to do, but they're better than I thought for this reason. If you had told me before the season Bryce Harper would have the season he's had, if you told me before the season that Kyle Schwarber would be the only power threat they have in the entire lineup, if you told me before the season Romano's ERA would be 7 and Kepler would be DFA'd maybe in July, I would have said there's no way they're in first place, and they are. Sometimes I think we look at their issues and we keep saying, man, they're struggling, they have this, that, but yet I look up every day and they have a starting pitcher out there 4 out of 5 days of the week, 4 to 5, through the rotation, dominating. I mean, it's not just good starting rotation. It's the best one, clearly, Al, we've had here since 2011. And it rivals that rotation. I mean, this is amazing what they've got out of Wheeler, Suarez, Sanchez, and Luzardo's been up and down, but his good is really good, Luzardo.
It's really good. And that's... As much as you're going to quote, you owe it to the fans. You owe it to this starting staff to kind of get them through, to let them show their stuff when it matters the most. But that's why I said I thought the manager's done a pretty good job with, as you mentioned it, guys that haven't. I mean, how many guys have played to the back of their baseball card, as they say, if you go around the lineup?
Schwarber. I guess Turner. He's in a little bit of a slump now, but for the most part, this year has been good.
Yeah. Other than that. I mean, but pitching, obviously, but your bullpen and the manager's managed to keep together where guys have whined about stuff. He's had to, discipline, which is not his forte.
Well, the Castellanos and the Kepler thing.
Well, and it seemed to be, they didn't rock the boat too much, kind of kept it in order. So I think he's done a pretty good job with what's been given to him. It's always been a strange lineup, kind of with thrown in there a lot of guys that should be DHs.
Well, they probably have 3 or 4 DHs.
Playing regularly.
I mean, they do.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Castellanos probably should be a DH. Harper might need to be a DH.
He's done a hell of a job.
Yeah. Well, that in some ways he really has. 215-592-9494. That's how you hop aboard. All right, we reached the All-Star break. Kyle, what do you feel on the Phils? They win yesterday. Not a great road trip out to the West, and they now enter the All-Star break in first place. But clearly the issues we've known have been there all year. Are they better or worse than you thought they'd be at this point?
I'm going to say better just because I don't think I expect... Well, however I predicted the season to go, it was with the team being fully healthy and, just knowing what I knew at the beginning of the season. But if you would have told me that Nola would miss the amount of time he did, Alvarado would get suspended for a giant chunk of the season and until August, we won't even get him until the playoffs. And not only Bryce Harper missing a chunk of time, but the version of Bryce Harper that we got, even when he was healthy. And if you would have told me that we were number 1 in the division and, top 4 record in the NL, I mean, I'd be pretty surprised. Now, Al's kind of right about the fact that all your car lights are on and stuff like that. And they are just not. It's like pulling teeth watching this team.
It is. Even yesterday, they won yesterday, and I was like, I hated the offense the whole game.
But I still have reason to think that they can get better as the season goes on. I feel a lot better than I thought I would think, if that makes any sense at this point in the season. Yeah,
the other thing that strikes me is you look at the lineup, right? So, Stott has been a 0 offensively. He's given them nothing. I thought Bohm was a 0 for the whole month of April. Then he got hot, and now he's kind of gone backwards again. Somehow they have a good record despite a lot of holes all over the team. It's a weird year where they have so many players having big time seasons. Wheeler, Sanchez, Suarez, obviously Kyle Schwarber. But then they have so many guys that are having bad seasons, and it just evens out to this 55-41 team.
55, and you have a division where 2 teams aren't nearly what you thought they were going to be.
Yes,
which you benefit greatly from.
Well, the Braves thinking really has helped the whole thing.
Yeah, and the team in New York.
Yeah.
kind of fallen on themselves from time to time. Well, they get hot, but then that's the thing. If I'm looking at those two teams, which team do I think can ignite and go the distance? Much as the Mets are a mess,
that lineup is better.
Yeah.
Well, they start their lineup with Lindor and Soto and Alonso. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's really what we thought we'd have here, but it hasn't worked.
Imagine you had that and the pitching.
I know.
Yeah.
215-592-9494. Let's go to the phone lines here. We are at the All-Star break with the Phillies. They win yesterday, but lose 2 out of 3 over the weekend. Are they better or worse than you thought they'd be when this season began?